The Mandalorian season 3 episode Who Gives a Shit is out Wednesday. I didn't stay up. I used to stay up and watch these. I used to actually stay up and it's midnight. The new Mandalorian's on. I'm going to watch it. And I was very excited. Now it's like, oh, I forgot there's a new one. I guess I should watch it. And I finished watching this just before we started our live stream today. Alan, I want to hear you're still watching it. What did you think of the latest episode?
Wow. There are two things that go on my mind with this one. This is a truly bad series. From dialogue to acting, it's just cringy to watch. And so, yeah, I don't think I can add on to any of the comments I've made in the past episodes. But I do find interesting things, and I don't know if you noticed this, but this particular episode where the Mandalorian, where I don't even know Bo-Katan, and they refer to Pedro Pascal's character as something, and I don't even know what the name is. But they go to this planet. It becomes a Star Trek episode. They go to this planet. The planet needs help corralling its rogue droids who are turning violent, and they have to do this mystery to solve the problem. What I found interesting about this land of the run by Jack Black and Lizzo, it's a pure democracy, and everyone in this democracy voted that guns are forbidden, and so there are no guns, and so they defunded the police. But in order to keep safe, they have to hire mercenaries to protect them. And I found that interesting in the sense of, I can't tell if they're serious about it, as to say, hey, this is a utopian society where guns are not necessary, or this is a commentary on why guns are necessary. And I'll bring it back to last week's episode, which ironically we were making jokes about me not knowing the Asian. And I hadn't seen the episode. When I watched it, I finally realized, I do know this Asian. But that episode was about, the planet needs help, but they're not on board with the Republic, and so they are a lower priority. And this is kind of a step toward this kind of authoritarian, hey, if you're with us and you bend your knee to us, we will help you. But if you don't, we'll just push you down the line there. And again, I don't know if this is their idea of the utopian society or if they're actually making a commentary about it. And so this is why this show puzzles me, because I don't know what it stands for. I don't know what it's going for. I don't know. It just seems like just a series of actions and a weak attempt to say something, to be maybe an episode of Star Trek, to comment about society and authoritarianism and fascism. But it just seems like it's doing a real horrible job at it, and I just don't know what to think about it. I don't know if you've thought about that while watching.
No, I've thought about that. It's just, even you see the agendas now being pushed in this. Not that there weren't a bunch before, but now they're just like self-evident, that just, and it comes down to everything from the casting to, this is the Star Wars show with the Mandalorian is a guest star in his own his own show. And it's the Star Wars show. It's the Bo-Katan show. It's the New Republic show. It's the Adventures of the New Republic. They've just sort of put in a blender all the different types of shows they wanted to make and made it into one show. On the positive side, because I want to have, on the positive side, the special effects I think are actually fairly good.
You mean that part where Grogu jumps out of his chair into the arms of Lizzo?
No, that was dumb. But even like the dumb, oh my God, Lizzo and Jack Black, why? They used to cast, if you look at the original Star Wars trilogy, they used to cast character actors. Character actors, like grizzled, older faces, General Dodonna, and all this, and now it's like, who are we friends with? Now we're casting freaking Lizzo, Jack Black, and Jimmy Kimmel's kid in these shows. It's just Disney's throwing out favors to just people they know and like.
You know what it was?
They're not taking the show seriously.
The early series, they hired British theater actors that no one ever heard of. That's why they were so
and
good.
they were great. They had gravitas. They were in the world. Go back and watch a scene of a bunch of people sitting in a room talking. No special effects. It's Darth Vader sitting with Christopher, the Grand Moff Tarkin.
I know you're talking.
Yeah, I know who I'm thinking of. I can see his head. I can see his picture in my face.
You can see his picture in your face?
Yeah, I can see his face in my head. Oh my God. I'm flustered because I'm pissed. Because the people making the show don't take it seriously anymore. They don't take it seriously. Jesus, if I had an opportunity to do anything Star Wars, I take it seriously. Now it's just content. Fill the content beast. The content beast needs to be fed. Feed that beast. Feed that beast. Peter Cushing.
That's right.
There's a scene where Peter Cushing's sitting in a room talking to people. Go back and look at those faces. See how they talk to each other. See the seriousness with which those actors, it's an unserious world and it sucks.
No, it is a joke world.
I'm sad.
It's what Marvel has become. It is absolutely what Marvel has become, but with worse actors.
And no one's watching it now. Okay, the sort of divert and the side quests that have nothing to do with Mandalorian. I wouldn't have a problem if the show wasn't called The Mandalorian, and it would actually not be as terrible if they just dropped all the episodes at once and you binged it. Fine, but week to week, whose show is this?
Mm-hmm.
Just remember what Star Wars used to be. There were and if you that's actually my test. We talked about this. Was it last week or the week before? We talked about like if there's a scene of just people talking and you're engaged and it's like it's good, and then the special effects and everyone points out the TIE fighter fight when the Millennium Falcon escapes the Death Star in the first Star Wars. There's that TIE fighter fight with Luke and Han being kind of competitive. It's kind of funny, but they're being attacked, so it's serious. Whatever. Like, okay, everyone remembers that scene. But there's other scenes where people just talk in a room and it's serious. There's a scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi tells Luke what the Force is. You needed no special effects to explain to you what the Force was. It was Alec Guinness's acting. And we have unserious people making this. We're now casting fucking Lizzo and Jack Black because it doesn't matter anymore. You got Jimmy Kimmel's kid in the first episode. Is it the first episode? Plays that kid who's the Mandalorian. I knew it. I'm like, it's a terrible actor. It's got to be somebody's kid. It was freaking Jimmy Kimmel's kid. Nobody cares about this shit anymore. The people working on it don't give a shit anymore. It's a paycheck. And this is what happens with every franchise that gets gobbled up by a big corporation. This is what happens. It's garbage. It's an insult. It's embarrassing. It's a zombie version of what it was. Star Wars is long dead. Star Wars died after Kenobi. We're just watching its corpse being exploited. And it sickens me. As someone in a room where I've got a bunch of Star Wars stuff here, to my left, huge rack. It's all old stuff for the most part, except I got a little BB-8 sippy cup. You know what? You know what I've used that BB-8 sippy cup for? I'm going to show it to you. You know what this is? Makes a great flask. You can take this, you can use it as a flask. I have done this. I've been in a convention and there has been margarita inside this thing. So there you go. On my shelf. All right, we have a special guest coming on in about 20 minutes or so.
You okay?
No, I'm pissed off, obviously. I am upset that the people doing this don't take it as seriously as the fans do, and that if you don't like it, you're a bad person as a fan.
I know it saddens me that Andor is the best series of the entire Disney Plus Star Wars universe. It's a good series, but it shouldn't be. It's a minor story. It's a B-level story from what should be a grander story being told, and it's the best one. And it's the feeling I got after watching this episode is it just feels like they're trying to piece together. They're trying to piece together the broken pieces of a broken universe, and it feels like it's a fool's errand. That whatever they're trying to do is not working, and they just need to stop. Stop, reset, take a breath, reset, and get some people who have some real ideas when it comes to Star Wars.